Well, for a lot of people, the countdown leading up to tomorrow night began in February, and now it is so close you can almost feel it.
Oh yeah, the rivalry, the suspense, the excitement, the fun. Of course, we're talking about the NFL season, which gets underway tomorrow night. And to get things started, WBOC will air its NFL kickoff special at 7 o'clock tonight.
Now, joining us today to give us an early look are WBOC Sports Director Scott Abraham, Shannel Douglas, and Paul Butler with WBOC News. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Glad to be here.
Each of you covered a team in depth. Scott, I want to start with you. Let's talk about the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay.
Disappointing after last year, didn't make the playoffs. What about this year?
Baltimore Ravens struggled last year, missed the playoffs as you mentioned, but this year they have some new pieces in place, namely offense coordinator Gary Kubiak, who should ingest some energy into that offense.
Right.
He comes aboard. He was the former head coach of the Houston Texans, and he should add another dimension to that offense. The defense lacked that physicality a year ago, but I'm expecting a bounce-back year from that defense. Terrell Suggs looked terrific at training camp. They have a couple of good young players with the Ravens that will step up. And I think the Ravens will contend for that division this year.
All right, the Ray Rice situation got pretty messy. How do the Ravens plan to move forward without the running back for, the first 2 weeks?
Correct. Ray Rice is gone for the first 2 weeks of the season, and they will go forward with a young man named Bernard Pierce entering his third season with the Ravens. He came out of Temple. He saw a lot of time last year, a lot of goal line touches, a lot of red zone touches, and he was the primary backup for Ray Rice. So it should be a seamless transition in a way. He's not a better pass catcher than Ray Rice, but he's a power runner running in between the tackles. They will also have Justin Forsett backing up Bernard Pierce. So I think they should be fine for the first 2 weeks, and Ray Rice, he'll come back in week 3, and I think Ray Rice will have a big year as well. I think he has a lot to prove. He had a tough offseason. It's been well documented, but I think he's taken it upon himself to let his talking play out on the field.
All right, Paul, let's talk Redskins.
Okay.
Robert Griffin III had some health issues. What's it look like?
Well, we all know last year he was just hobbled all season long, of course, with the injury to his leg.
Right.
But this year in training camp, I have to say, he looks really good as far as moving around, running, passing, throwing the ball. Now, the issue with him this year has been his decision making and been his accuracy so far in the preseason. So that's what's concerned, I think, for Redskins fans, is how he's maturing as a football player. Health-wise, I think he looks as good as he did when he was a rookie.
Okay, so sticking with the Redskins, let's talk playoffs. What do you think their chances are?
This is going to be tricky. I think it's going to come down to whether or not Robert Griffin III matures in his third year as a quarterback, as a leader in the locker room. Because one of the things that you can talk about in the locker room is half of the players follow him. The other half aren't so sure because of some of the comments he's made in the past. But I think if he comes out and he becomes a leader and shows it on the field as far as his decision making and accuracy as passing, I think the Redskins have a chance. Their defense has beefed up a little bit. They've added Jason Hatcher from the Cowboys. Also, the secondary is a lot better with some veterans back there. So they have a chance, and that division they're in is not that very strong, except for the Eagles. So the Redskins do have a chance, but everything's got to come together for them.
All right, Shannel, Paul just mentioned the Eagles. You took a close look at them. How does the offense look coming into the season?
The offense is looking great. I mean, they were looking great last season as well. The biggest difference is losing Deshaun Jackson to the Redskins. But, a lot of people are looking at him. He was the X factor for this Eagles offense. And without him, people are wondering how they're going to do. But, they're filling in a lot of those holes. They have rookies like Jordan Matthews and even Darren Sproles in there. And so I feel like they're really going to be looking strong. And even Nick Foles, this is his first year coming in as a starting quarterback. So a lot of people are kind of questioning, is he going to be able to step up as a leader? This is his time to shine. But looking at him at training camp, he was looking very strong. So I have full confidence that this Eagles offense is going to do well.
All right, going from the offense to the defense, they struggled last year. So did they make any changes during the offseason that may make this a better season?
Not so much changes, but more so getting adjusted to their system. You know, there was lots of changes to their season last year, so now it's more so getting accustomed to their system. And also, they was able to fill the safety position with Malcolm Jenkins. You know, he's going to be a big key to this defense. So I feel like their defense is going to step up. And, you know, with their offense already strong, and if their defense can step up to the plate, I mean, the Eagles are going to look like a serious contender this year.
Okay, so Scott, you went up to New York. You talked to the CBS crew about Thursday Night Football coming.
It was a great experience, and it was a business trip. It's always nice to be in the city and, you know, the concrete jungle and do a lot of things up there, but it was a business trip, and we talked to a lot of CBS analysts, Jim Nantz, James Brown, Bill Cowher, the list goes on. It was tremendous, and they added some terrific insight of what they expect, you know, the Ravens, the Redskins, and the Eagles to look like this season and what they think will happen in this NFL season. And it was very enlightening, and you're going to the viewers will enjoy hearing from them talking about our regional teams on our special later tonight.
Yeah, and I am so excited about the Ravens-Steelers matchup that's coming up.
And you guys are going for that one next week.
Yes.
Yeah, as a former sports guy, it's nothing like being in the stadium on game day, and that's what it's going to be like next Thursday. Of course, with the Ravens and Steelers, we all know how that rivalry is. It's going to be quite an atmosphere, and Shannel and I are looking forward to that.
Yes, we are.
Catch it all right here on WBOC. Paul Butler, Shannel Douglas, Scott Abraham, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And tonight we're going to hear a bunch more, including interviews with players, coaches, and the experts.
WBOC's NFL Kickoff Special. Don't miss it tonight at 7 right here on WBOC. And the football fun continues up next on Delmarva Live. Some of your favorite stars from CBS weigh in on their favorite football moments as they, too, get ready to kick off the season. We'll be right back.